Hey, good evening. Not sure if this thing's really getting out, but I believe it is. Yep, looks like it is now. And I'll try to get a link up here on the page as quick as possible. Let's just take and see if that is like it's working. Let's grab the video URL. There we go. So, looks like it's posted up here on Facebook. So I guess I better get over here and start talking about it if somebody could possibly watch it. Got a half hour here and kind of revving up some people to head to the wind tunnel here in the next couple of weeks. Put a group together and drive in. Naperville is kind of our preferred tunnel of choice, but Chicago now, of course, had Rosemont first, then Naperville. Now they even have one in Lincoln Park, but that probably isn't where we're going to because it's pretty close to downtown. But anyhow, what we got here is my son Adam in the blue suit, and I'm in the orange suit, just trying to do a back to stand up there. It didn't work too good. And that's one of the harder things to do. And when they turn out okay, they turn out just like that. And when they don't turn out okay, they just don't turn out okay. It's just the way that goes. So there's Adam, myself, and this is Scott Schneider, who used to work for us and was a real good friend. Still is a real good friend for that matter, though his new job has kind of sucked up a lot of his time. Scott took the wind tunnel flying really easily. I believe this is only his second or third time in the wind tunnel. I think it was kind of his third. And he belly flies, holds his position quite well, is able to take and adjust and follow someone else. And it's a little like riding a bike. The first time you get into the tunnel, I mean, you're going to take and be wobbly and all over the place. And it's just because very fine movements of your body position will take and shoot you all over the place. The way I can explain the first half hour of wind tunnel time in various 2 and 3 minute segments is it was very much like flying a helicopter. You want to over control everything, and the harder you try, the worse you get. You've got to kind of zen into it, just like anything else, and become kind of one with what you're doing, and you got to relax. Here's Adam and me back flying, which is the progression. Once you get pretty good on your belly, you take and you back fly, because basically you're going to be presenting about the same amount of body area to the wind, so the things kind of run about the same air speeds. And there's a setup that is not done correctly, but the big thing about any new maneuver that you're trying in a wind tunnel is it's just like flying in general. Have yourself a bailout plan. If you are getting to a point where you're tracking or becoming unstable, get to a position that you positively know how to fly in, and then go from that position forward. And I'll have a good setup here pretty quick. Whoop, there's a track. What you gotta do is one of the things that I can watch and see what I'm not doing well right now. So when you do those, you really got to get your heels all the way back. And that is kind of like just what I was explaining. I was getting unstable on the setup, and I basically rolled to my belly and flew away. And that's kind of the whole thing, is always kind of give yourself an out when you're taken into situations like this. And there's Mr. Adam and Scott flying together, and I'm just going to try some turns, and they're both looking pretty good. Belly flying is something that you can probably master. Well, like I said, Scott's 2 or 3 trips to the tunnel, and if you're, the athletic type, and you concentrate and you relax, you can be a stable belly flyer in a very short period of time. So the thing is, once you do get stable on your belly, then what always comes after that is going to be precision. You want to be very precise and be able to, motor up to somebody and park on them, and then be able to take and back away from them, safely turn without hitting them, and then turn around and get back on the go again. And then that's belly to stand transitions, and a couple of quick turns there to spin, and you can take and a lot of it is time in the tunnel, but it's also drilling. Are you watching the live feed or not? And one of the bandits just came in and is watching here. So, who's actually going to take me in again to the wind tunnel, aren't you? When we going? I hope your girlfriend sees this, because she wants to go real bad too. And so you use all parts of your body to take in and do your flying, and what it amounts to is the more you fly, the better you get. And unfortunately, this last year, we thought when the wind tunnels came to Chicago that we'd wind up doing a lot more tunnel flying, because it used to just be once a year we go to Orlando in spring break and fly in really what was the first practical wind tunnel. There's some other wind tunnels out there, and we've flown in some of the outdoor and some of the less, shall we say, tuned tunnels. And really the one in Orlando across from Universal Studios is really the granddaddy that started it all, really got everything wind tunnel wise. So, but virtually anybody can do it. They've actually got grade school kids in there winning competitions now that can fly head down and do all sorts of advanced maneuvers in there. And right now, Scott's in there. I think we're doing a little bit of practice walking in the wind tunnel, and then Scott was kind of back flying a little bit there too. So that's wind tunnel flying. And that was a nice stand-up by Scott, nice stand-up by Adam. Adam down to his back, back fly now. I'm coming in. And back flying, the easiest way to learn back flying, I think, and that is to take, and they'll actually, when they first put you on your back, they'll turn the wind down and leave a little pressure with you on the net, and they'll just take and have you start doing some control exercises, and one of them is if you just cock your heel just a little bit, you start to turn, and they'll have you do left and right turns as you're really spinning on your back. And the one thing that I learned that helped me the most is just like a helicopter. If you pick it up off a hover, and all of a sudden, you're starting to take and get a little rough with it, moving it around a little too much, just take and lower the collective a little bit and set it back down. Relax a little bit. And then, that gives you just enough of a breather so the control loop inside of your brain can rest just a little bit. And you pull a little power and a little collective and bring the thing back up into hover and do it again. So same thing with my philosophy on back flying is to do the same thing. If you're getting all out of shape, if you relax your hands and your feet, you see I just did it there. Relax your hands and your feet, that'll put pressure on the net, and away you go, you're flying again. When you extend your feet and you come back down, you bounce a little, but stop. Pull everything in. There is not a horrible stand-up. I have just lost, I just said screensaver lost there. Luckily the application's still going. And, try not to take and get radical with your movements in wind tunnel. The more radical you get, if you get where you have some tracking force, the plexiglass, I guarantee, will stop you no matter how fast you're going across the tunnel. So it's one of these things that you really, and they stress that too, is they want you to take and be safe in there. And when you first start flying, they basically want to keep you near the net. Reason behind that is if you do get all wild and you happen to grab a bunch of air, there is an operator in the tunnel that will take and shut down the air and lower you down to the net so you can get stable and start off again. If you happen to balloon up 15 feet and you're also tracking sideways, they can't chop it. They'll take it and run you right through the net. So then your instructor's going to have to go find you and get you stable again, and that's never really a good thing. So, and then once again, just the standing to flying, your smoothness in your transitions, that's really, what a guy needs to work on the most, because you get precision in your flying. So you can zip over somewhere quickly and stop. And that was a little signal there by Admin. We're going to do over and unders. And that takes a fair amount of coordination. You're working with another person. And most important thing, what the instructors will say, is always take and keep an eye on your partner. And that's not just only in the wind tunnel, but in particular free fall in general. There's been serious accidents and deaths in the real skydiving when you lose track of someone and you're looking around and they've lost track of you. And if you're not watching each other, you can pick up a relative speed horizontally that you're not aware of, and so can the other person. And then all of a sudden you slam into each other at 60 miles an hour, and that is not a good thing. And there's actually a well-known person that's a paraplegic that's on Facebook that actually had a student. He was an instructor, lost track of the student, and nailed him and broke his spine. So it gets this is a lot of fun, but it also is some pretty serious business at times. There's Scott doing some left and right turns. Just excellent. Does a good job flying. And basically, you do wear earplugs when you're in the tunnel, but it's not that loud. I have been known to forget them once in a while, and you might have a slight roar in your ears when you're done, but you really don't have any hearing loss or anything. it is more comfortable if you're wearing earplugs. And which, amazingly enough, I've never wore earplugs in real free fall, and a lot of that has to do with the fact is as you can see from the video here, we're doing a half-hour block, and when you actually skydive, you get a bit over 60 seconds of free fall, and that's it. So it isn't any quieter than the wind tunnel, but you won't, I mean, if you take and land, get a repack and everything, I doubt you're going to get, you know, another jump in any faster than like a half hour. So it's the one thing that's very nice about wind tunnel flying in general is the fact that you can concentrate, you can take a 2-minute break, have your other partner come in, try to figure out what you're doing, you know, wrong, and then go back and redo it. And in regular free fall, I mean, you can work on stuff and then you analyze it on the ground, but you can't practice something that you may have had wrong. You can't practice it again for at least a half an hour, really. Yeah, you can turn it faster than that, but normally, you know, and especially a student A license, skydivers, you know, they're going to, of course, take more time packing their chute, or else have somebody packing it for them. So it's not going to be able to make those turnarounds as quick as you can in the wind. You can develop. It takes an awful lot of jumps to take an equal, you know, a half hour's worth of skydiving. So here I'm back in again, and looks like we're going to be doing some back flying. There's a typical spot right there. If you're beginning back flying, and that's when you have your arms and your legs are totally relaxed, and the wind's just blowing them in that position. Now for liftoff, what you're going to take and do, I think I'm just doing a setup right there, and that was actually a setup and a roll. Wasn't a very good one. Flew back down to the landing. And one of the things the instructor's saying here is take and give yourself a little altitude before you try them setups. And then you want to make them quick. You want to get your feet back, and the other thing that you need to do is take it. And if you hesitate like I did there, you go into a track and you'll start moving horizontally, you know, without really knowing it too fast at all. When it's sweet, it's like that. It just happens. You can do it right off the bottom. But if you take and you start to fly that arc, it will take and put you into the wall. So I get a little more height here, and pretty decent. I got still add a little bit of drive off of my shoulders. You really want to get your shoulders back and tilt your head back even, right like that. Pop. Up you come. So it's one of those things that took me a while to get, and it's one of those things that you can take and lose pretty quick also. Here comes Scott back in again. We're all three. Yeah, we're all three going to come in here. Yep. There we are. You can take and get a lot more out of your tunnel time, which isn't cheap, you know, if you go into a gaggle like this and you are able to fly 2 and 3 up. You're getting the same minute. Each guy's getting it times themselves, so you're getting 3 times the fun there. And once again, if you've got people with varying abilities in tunnel, take it easy, relax. You know, if it takes a little while to take and do your hookup, rushing is not really. I guess what I'm going to say is one of my favorite sayings is slower is faster. Because if you're in a skydive, you got 60 seconds, and if you do want to make the connection and you rush in there, you bounce off each other, and you're rolling around and everything else. Next thing you know, you're at 5,000 feet and breaking off. So what you got to do is, move quickly but smoothly and slower. Truly, it's faster. Take a little check here and see where we're at on our time. And a half hour goes pretty fast because we're at the 20-minute mark right now. Sometimes too, it just like hovering a helicopter, what I like to do back flying is get up there and park on a post. And now the instructor there, he's going to start messing with me. A little bit out of camera range. This is my contour camera that I actually used to wear in the wind tunnel till they decided it could fly off and break, about $20,000 worth of fan blades, which it never did. But I could see their point of view, and they were going. He was trying to work us up where a back fly, hand grip, and then turn and foot grip. So he's on his belly and back. Just from this session, you can see how I've gotten a lot smoother. My sit-ups and the back fly. It's practice. It's just everything else is practice. If you were in that tunnel every single day, you'd fly like the instructor. And fact is, one of our initial instructors that we had down at iFly, who I believe we flew with when he was a brand new instructor, this was a number of years ago, happens to be the chief instructor for all of iFly now. So you can go anywhere, if you've got the opportunities. There's something, instructor like see Adam go belly to back up in the air. A little bit of tap on the net doesn't hurt a thing. It's fine. That's probably one of the best back to front transitions I've seen. Nice job you did there. And our instructor's coming up the camera, I think in a minute. He sees that. Okay. I will tell you, I actually have my first tunnel flat forward flip in here, totally by accident. And one thing, when you get down towards the last 10 minutes, you are getting tired. And actually, see how stable I am? I parked, put a little bit of track backwards and stick your feet on the wall and it'll lock you in stable. It's not really recommended, but it works just fine. This guy's got to turn there. And what's kind of amazing is getting all of wind tunnel time prior to skydiving, because you'll see a lot of the skydivers that are neophytes, they'll be a student, and A-licensed skydivers will come into the tunnel, and they'll not be that terribly good. What's really nice about the wind tunnel is from day one, it teaches you how to control yourself precisely, because you reference, a movement of inches. In free fall, especially if your instructor in the old days didn't have that much tunnel time or whatever, he could be moving around a bit too. You're going to be moving around like crazy, but you don't see that 6 inches or so, because the closest reference you've got is like thousands of feet away. So you're only referenced to something that's falling with you, at the same rate. And we're going to do a few over and unders here with the instructor. Incidentally, you see that flashing kind of red-blue lights. That's a timer which you can set, or if you're flying with other people and you each bought like so many minutes, that signifies that you're getting at the end of your block of a minute or 2 minutes or 2.5 or 5. You can set up your blocks any way you really wish. This here is a half-hour block. When you buy time in a half-hour block, they expect you to fly it continuously, and that's why you need to go in with a group of people and make sure that you can take and cover all that time. And the handshakes, that's really good with new flyers. If you just stand there allow them to come up and shake your hand. Right hand, left hand, left hand, right hand. And one of the things that everybody wants to do when they try that is they'll get up close and they'll reach. And nope, there we go. Got on top of Scott there. And you'll reach, and you can't reach when you're wind tunnel. What that does, Scott mugging the camera, is you can't, if you go to reach, then that'll immediately change your body dynamics. And in general, what will happen is you'll backslide, you'll get further away, you got to reach harder, and you get further away, and you get diminishing returns. So you got to kind of take and pretend your hand's attached to your body, fly your body over to where your hand needs to be, and then take your grip, shake your hand. And another maneuver that's really good is fly with your hands on your helmet, because that will take and show that you can control your body flight primarily with just your torso and your feet. You can see a little bit now our stability on our back, we're starting to get tired. You get up towards the end of that half hour and it just starts to get to be a little tiring. You lose your edge just a little bit. You actually, I think, kind of pull up a little bit, just not as loose and relaxed. You don't really have a lot of sore muscles when you do a stretch like this, but you can tell you did something. This might be my first forward flip in a wind tunnel. Here it comes. All right, and flew away. Actually, I never did watch this whole video from this session before, so tonight's the first time that I actually even saw that. So it was kind of slick. Scott and Adam again. flying. Got, I think, a previous one of these where Adam and I are back flying in formation with a grip. And that'd be on another chip somewhere. And that's it. That is the and half hour black and wind tunnel. If anybody's interested in getting with us to go in as a group sometime, just send me a message me, and I will take and put together a time. I think we're going to probably hit this here, definitely here within the next uh, month, I would say. So I'm kind of looking for some off peak and maybe trying to get some rates for us here. And Chicagoland does have a tunnel camp, and that's probably a little more geared towards skydivers getting proficient. If you take and you have never been in a wind tunnel before, you can go with us and we'll peel you off some minutes so you can get a taste of the experience and everything. And they'll actually take, and give you the initial training and everything that you need to get started with in there. But thanks for joining my live stream, and we'll have this available later on also.